Hello, welcome to Cinephile Entertainment. I'm the Cinephile critic, and today I'll be reviewing this film. Yeah, I know. I had to put my dog down. Unfriended, the Dark Web. So, Unfriended, the Dark Web is directed by Stefan Susko and stars Betty Gabriel as Nari, Colin Woodell as Mattis, Andrew Lee as Damon, Connor Del Rio as AJ, Savara Windian as DJ Lex, Stefan Nogueres as Amir. Unfriended, the Dark Web is about a group of people that know each other from online. They live in various parts of the world and they come together, I think, once a week for date night. The main story is centered around the character Matthias, and he is dating Amir, and Amir is deaf. And so these group of people come together and they start date night. Now everything goes well in date night until it starts to go wrong. Where it goes wrong is Matthias did something, I wouldn't say naughty, but he just got caught. But this laptop is not what he thinks it is, and this laptop is going to be the beginning of his nightmare. And that's kind of what Unfriended, the Dark Web is about. And so things happen to him, his friends, due to what this laptop contains and what is on the laptop. And it's, what is on a laptop, it's to do with the dark web and certain groups of people that are sadistic. They get off on certain things happening to certain people in a particular type of way. And his friends and himself and his girlfriend is in danger. One of the things I would say about this film that I actually really liked is the fact that how it's filmed. That's mainly filmed through webcams and phone cameras. Like it suited the film. Like I actually liked that they picked that particular type of way of filming this particular film because it worked really well. The fact that there is not much movement and everything is sort of claustrophobic. It's in one room. You don't have multiple locations, and even if you do have multiple locations, you're not seeing it in terms of what a normal film or how normal films will show locations. You're only seeing it through the way of a webcam. Everyone's chatting, they're having a group chat, they're talking together. Matthias, he's starting to figure out certain things about this computer and that certain things are wrong, and the person and the owner of the computer wants it back. And he's prepared to give it back, but then he realized certain other things are happening, is having real-time consequences in their world of what is actually on this computer. And he faces his friends and girlfriends in danger, and he realizes he has to make a decision. Now, whether the decision he makes is right or wrong, that's for you to decide, but he makes a decision. And I felt that the acting in this film, for the most part, was spot on. It's what this film needed to be. It needed to be dramatic when it needed to be, and it needed to be laid back when it needs to be, because kind of like silent films, sometimes when it comes to silent films, you have this exaggeration of emotions and of movement because there's no sound. But as soon as sound comes into play, well, those exaggerations doesn't work because we don't need to interpret your facial expressions anymore. We can see and hear what you're trying to do. The acting in this film works, and the fact that you've got different types of people with different personalities works in this film. Out of all the films that uses the webcam and the phone camera to make a film, I think this is, and obviously this is like a thriller / horror, this is like the best version of those types of films, and I kind of liked it. This film is it's silent in terms of, it doesn't have ambient noise, it doesn't have I call emotion music, because in many films you have music that will guide your emotions to how you're supposed to feel in this particular scene. This film doesn't do that. It's such a breath of fresh air when that happens, because I'm sick of being manipulated by music in film. I'm sick of it. And it's not even just in films, it's in TV programs, it's in even in just, you know, consumer programs. They have music, you know, when there's you know, someone giving an interview and it's a sad story, you hear this music, this ambience music at the back, so I'm supposed to empathize with this person even more. I cannot stand it. It's manipulation, and I hate my emotions being manipulated. So when I hear it, I just understand what's happening, and I kind of just tune out and just tune the music out and just listen to what the person's saying. It's really annoying. Now I get it in films why they do it, and you know, films does need it to a certain extent, but in, you know, in TV programs like game shows, whatever, or interviews, no. But this film doesn't really have it. So what happens is when there's not much happening, it's really silent, because and all you just hear is the typing of the computer and things. You just hear the natural noise of what you will hear if you were in your own bedroom, looking at your computer, typing away, talking to your friend. And I actually really like that. Intriguing to a point. And I did like the way how they executed in the first act, when you know all the exposition is going on, but it's done smartly. It's not done, oh, this and this and that and here and this is what's going to happen. No, it's done very smartly in this film. The exposition in this film is done really good. There was a piece of information that was disclosed, and as soon as that information was disclosed, I literally wrapped everything up, and I knew exactly what had happened and what this film, in the direction what this film was going in. It's not, I'm not going to say it. I want to know if you guys know what I'm talking about. There's this point in this film that I think it's in the first act, towards the end of the first act, when information is disclosed. And from that information, I just knew exactly what had happened, what he got himself into, and how it's going to play out. And that's smart. That's smart. But, you know, it's one of those ones, it's not blatant. People would actually miss that, you know, hint. Like the way how they piece things together, like the clues that they dropped, I like that. Because that's a film thinking about its audience. That's a film thinking about how it's setting, you know, the scenes for other things to happen. And I like that, you know, sort of breadcrumbs trail. You know, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, that's gonna happen. And you know, that excites me in this film. And the fact that this film had it in it, even though it didn't have to, I'm happy. The way how this film is directed is, you know, it's there's not much to it, but there is. It's like, it's minimalistic, but there's still a lot of work that goes into setting up this type of way of filming. It's not as easy as some people may think. And because of the way they did it and the direction and the execution of it, I felt that this film was actually a really good film. It's much better. Again, you're going to hear me say this a lot. It's much better than what I thought it was going to be. I thought this one was going to be bad when I was going to see this film. One of my friends was like, oh, I heard it's really bad. And I was like, oh, good, great. But this is why it's good to sometimes go yourself. So I don't actually think that this film is bad. I think it's, out of the type of film that this film is, it's the better version of these films. Because most of the time these films can be terrible. Capturing tension, like the tension building in this film is really interesting. There is intrigue in this film. There's information. There's, you know, even mythology in this film. And that's the type of thing that I like. There's building blocks. So, you know, they've set a foundation and they're building on it. And what they're building is quite decent. It's not, you know, shambles or, you know, just a money grab. But no, there's integrity, I personally feel, in this film. So that's why I will be rating this film as I thought intriguing, and I feel that it does a good job in telling its story. So that's my review of this film. Have you seen this film? What do you think about this film? What other, you know, horror thriller films that you've seen that you liked, or maybe some that you didn't like? And I would love to know your opinion. So please click the subscribe button down below if you're thinking, I'll come back later, I'll check you out later, and maybe I'll subscribe. Hopefully, I will see you again. And remember, until next time, keep safe. Bye.